Xbox is dead again. Can you believe it? What is up, y'all? And welcome to Xbox Ready, my YouTube channel that is all about Xbox. Today, Valve dropped a huge announcement that has major implications for not only Xbox, but for the whole gaming industry as a whole. And here to help me talk about it is Mr. Jimmy Champagne, my good friend who is an expert in all things Valve, Steam, and PC gaming related. He's the guy I call up anytime I have an issue with my own computer, and like anytime I'm having he's that dude.
Ray doesn't have issues that much. You always undersell the fact that you do play on PC.
I mean, I do.
I think the last time I had to help Ray with a computer issue was like a year ago.
Well, I'm calling an emergency meeting today because Valve had a huge announcement that is shaking the foundations of the gaming industry and has a lot of people once again saying that Xbox is cooked, Xbox is dead. So Jimmy, can you take it away with just a quick points of what they have revealed today?
Okay, so what they revealed today is the Steam Frame, which is a VR headset. I know a lot of people don't care about VR, but it seems cool. It's running Steam OS. Their translation layer that they use to run Windows games on Linux, they've ported it over to ARM chips, so you'll be able to play Steam games with your VR headset. That's cool. Then they also announced the cool thing, the even cooler thing, which is the Steam Machine. They brought that name back from the dead. If you didn't know, they tried this before with third-party. What Xbox is doing. They tried to make third-party hardware with Alienware and other manufacturers and use SteamOS 2. Dog shit. It sucked. It was so bad. So they killed it immediately. They brought it back with Valve-made hardware. This thing is on the level of like a Series X or a PS5. It'll probably be priced similarly. It's a small little box. It looks like that Xbox Ready thumbnail for the Xbox Series C.
It is the Xbox Series C, bro.
Yeah, it literally is. And the funniest thing ever is that people were telling me in the comments that I willed this into existence. And I was like, what are they talking about? And I went back on the channel. I did a video back in like September, October, where I was like, it would be sick when this was when the Steam Frame leaked, like the trademark for it. I was like, it would be so sick if they did an event where they let people fly out and use the Steam Frame, the Steam Machine, and the new Steam controller and announce it all at the same time. So if you're a Valve fan, you're welcome. I'm taking credit for that. But yeah, it's a really cool little box. When they took the lid off, it looks almost identical to a Series X, just about half the size. And it's got 5 USB ports, 1 USB-C. It's got a built-in special Wi-Fi chip for streaming to the headset or your Steam Deck. And then there's the Steam Controller 2, which is literally, if you took the Steam Deck screen, removed it, took the two controller halves and put them together, so you get the HD rumble, you get these new better than Hall effect sticks that are magnetic, you get this sensing on the back, so when you're using gyro, if you take your fingers off the handles, the gyro will turn off. You get the touchpad, so it's like the perfect PC controller. It's just like too good to be true type stuff where it's everything everyone wanted all in one day.
Everything that we've been discussing on this channel on Xbox Ready has been Xbox transitioning into this like more PC like console space, you know, this device that you can plug into your TV like you would a traditional Xbox, like a Series X or the previous iterations, but it'll have like Steam on it. It'll have all these other launchers. It'll have the flexibility of gaming PC, but the ease of use of a console. And it just seems like, this is it. Like Steam is doing it before, like they announce it before them. There's a very good chance it's going to release before the next gen Xbox lineup, Magnus. So it's just crazy, just absolutely insane timing. And in true Xbox fashion, Phil Spencer goes on Twitter and he's like, it's okay because Xbox is a big publisher on Steam, which yes, technically is true, and they're going to be making a lot of money off of this no matter what, because yeah, people buy their games on Steam as well, but obviously this is terrible timing.
I would have pivoted immediately if I was Phil Spencer. I'm sitting in my Bellevue mansion and I see this get announced 2 blocks away from me because Valve is down the street from Xbox. I would have just been like, hey, we're working really hard on Xbox full screen experience to be competitive with SteamOS. You can game where you want, but we're going to provide a good experience too. Done. Also, the Xbox Magnus is going to be more powerful than this Steam Machine and more expensive, but it's, it's going to be more powerful. So I don't know. I think their uphill battle is they've got to move everyone from Xbox to Windows and then give a good enough experience to where people don't want to use SteamOS. But SteamOS has the benefit of like 3.5 years of being beta tested by Steam Deck users who are super dedicated and great about providing feedback. So like they're hitting the ground running with this Steam machine. And I'm very excited about it. The big thing they need to figure out, though, of course, is anti-cheat. Can't play Battlefield on this thing. You can play Arc Raiders, can't play Destiny 2. You can't, like, you know, they got to figure out the anti-cheat. And we don't know if they're going to sell it in stores either, because they don't sell the Steam Deck in stores. We don't know if they have third-party people signed on for launch. They've said they want to work with third-party people. Like, there's a lot of unknowns, but we'll find out quickly, I would assume, because this thing's set for early 2026.
The distribution, I have to give the edge to Xbox because, I mean, they have experience in the home console space already. And technically Valve does too because they've already tried the Steam machine. But like you said, it failed. It was dog shit. And at least Xbox has proven that they can sell, you know, upwards of like, you know, a couple, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 million consoles. So the distribution, getting those relationships that they have with existing retailers, there's been a lot of speculation on like where they stand with people like Target and Costco, but they've done this before. So I don't think, again, I see how this could be bad timing and bad optics for Xbox, and Phil Spencer's response isn't exactly what I was hoping for, because I want competition to heat up in this space as well. Like, yeah, Valve, do your thing, but we're going to come out with an even cooler thing, and it's going to be awesome. This video is brought to you by Fume. Habits suck because it takes almost no effort to form them, but when you try to break them, it is like almost impossible. That's why over 700,000 people have turned to Fume and their products just to get started on that journey of breaking their habits. This is the Fume Solano, a flavored air device. There's no nicotine, no vapor, not even any batteries. Next time you're feeling fidgety and you reach for something you probably shouldn't be reaching for, you can grab this and draw in some of that tasty air. They got a bunch of different flavors for whatever fits your vibe, like crisp mint, there's also raspberry, peach blush, mango. And Fume products start at $24.99, but they also have a good deal for the Fume Journey Pack going on right now that includes the Solano, a bunch of different flavor cores, and some other accessories to round out your experience. If you use my code XboxReady at checkout, they'll even throw in an extra Fume topper. And if you want to try it out for yourself, you can go on over to tryfume.com/product/Fume0 or scan the QR code. Thanks again to Fume for sponsoring this video.
Dude, they're stealing from the 360 with the Steam machine. Did you see the faceplates?
Yes, yes.
They had a cool Team Fortress 2 one I saw with the Goliath guy. I don't know. I don't play Team Fortress. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, Xbox is in a good spot, I think. And hopefully, like, you know, we saw that video come out where it's Legion Go OS, right? Like Windows, SteamOS. SteamOS runs laps around it. Then bam, they get the fire lit under their ass to start making that Xbox full screen experience. I know people are acting like they were working on it for a long time before that, but like even if they were, it's very clear that they got it out a lot faster in response to getting owned by SteamOS so hard, right? So hopefully this thing getting announced, it being real, like not just something that we know they're working on, we don't know when it's coming, gets them to keep making advances on that Windows full screen experience, because I mean, that's it. That's their last chance to make Xbox succeed, so they gotta nail it. But what they're able to do quickly is good.
They just put out the roadmap for the Xbox Ally for 2026, and one of those things is that they're improving its docking capabilities. So if you hook up an HDMI to an external display like a monitor or your TV, there are a lot of the improvements that I was reading that are hopefully coming at, sooner rather than later in 2026. I'm really excited for, and that's definitely something that is going to put it way more on par and competitive with something like this new Steam machine that's coming out. As far as the controller goes, you know, I don't use the Steam Deck, so I'm not familiar with like the trackpads, using that as a cursor. But we did hear a lot, like this is years ago at this point, about the Sibyl controller. You remember this, Jim?
I know, yeah. Whatever happened with that?
Whatever happened. Now
and the
is the
DualSense
time.
V3. Remember that?
Now is the time
the
to do
upgraded
that.
battery.
Yeah.
That was on Best Buy. They had a Best Buy listing for a DualSense with a better battery, just never came out.
Because the Xbox One, it feels like something that could be really cool and again competitive with what Steam is putting out with this new controller, which I assume you'll be able to use with the Steam machine and also just a straight up PC. Same thing. I mean, Xbox can totally do stuff like that too. And then they were talking about like, direct to cloud connectivity, which, they're making some good strides in that space as well. So yeah, where is the stuff? It's time for Xbox to buck up and show a little bit of what they got. I mean, it might be a little too early, like you said. That's kind of, it feels like a rush job in some aspects for the full screen experience. But if they got something, anything, they should be like, yeah, this is like just a tease of what we're working on. Now would be the time. Maybe like some sort of like a little teaser at the Game Awards. I don't know, but Xbox needs to respond for sure.
Yeah, and like at least they got it out there, and at least they're making moves on it. It is a big improvement. There's 3 ROG Allies, right? Like this isn't the first ROG Ally. This is the third one. And using this one is a lot better of an experience than using the last 2, as someone who's used all 3 of them. So like, we're making positive moves, but they got to move faster. It's crazy. You see Meta, they've got billions of dollars invested into Meta Quest. They've got all these people working on it. Valve, the entire company is 300 people. And what they've been able to do with this new VR headset runs laps around Meta. It's crazy. And then you've got, Windows, Xbox, Microsoft. They've got trillions of dollars and infinite people. And Valve's doing the same shit to them that they did to Meta. They're like, hey, here's how you make a good gaming operating system. And that's always going to be a problem for Microsoft where, Windows is made for business first. It's an operating system, whereas SteamOS is made for gaming. So they've got to make the moves, but they can do it.
It's time for a fume break.
Silent treatment in your cup, baby, we don't need to talk.
Where do you think this thing is going to land when it launches in terms of price? And do you think it's going to have any effect on anything Xbox releases as far as Project Magnus or any of these partnered partnered devices like they did with Xbox Ally?
I think this thing is targeting $500 or $600, and the only reason they didn't announce it is because there's a shortage on DDR5 RAM right now, which is what this thing uses. So they probably want to see if they can get enough, or if they hopefully have stockpiled enough to get at least the launch units out there. But like with the specs that this thing has, knowing that it's like targeting, this performance of a PS5 or Series X right around there, I mean, that's clearly a move to make it cheaper. And Valve, unlike Microsoft, knows that everyone who buys this thing has like a 99% chance of buying games on Steam almost exclusively, so they could even eat a little bit of the cost. Xbox could do that, but with the platform that they've built on PC with the Xbox app and everything, I think they cannot rely on the vast majority of people who pick up that Magnus console to even not use Steam, right? Like there could be a lot of people being like, this thing has great performance, it's at a good price, I'm going to buy it and install Steam on it and play Steam games. So like they're going to be a lot more careful about subsidizing it. And we've seen them kind of go profitable this generation with the Xbox, where they're selling it for over $700 now in certain specs. So I think they're kind of going in 2 different directions. Like Valve is going for the home consumer console type person who's never had a gaming PC, and Xbox is trying to make it palatable for someone like you to switch over to their platform on PC. Like they're going for the hardcore. Valve is going for everybody.
I'm wondering, because it's smaller, it's cube-like, kind of like a Series X, but shorter, smaller. What's the cooling factor going to be on the Steam machine too? Because I got a new entertainment center, and I have my Xbox laying down horizontally, so the fan is blowing in to one of my shelves, and god damn is it loud. It runs hot. Like I've never heard it whoosh in the same way that I'm doing like with this new entertainment center I have. I could sometimes even hear it in the quieter moments if I have my headset on, just like the fan working overtime and going crazy. So like how is this even gonna work? Because sometimes like some of my games on Steam can run up the GPU and the power usage like crazy.
Yeah, if you look at it, 60% of its footprint is cooling. Like the computer components are basically under that light bar. It's crazy. So I don't think cooling is going to be an issue. They said I was watching Gamers Nexus video, and they said that when they were designing this thing, they started with the fan and worked their way down. So cooling is the biggest priority for it. And since it's like half the size of a Series X, it'll probably fit better into entertainment centers. And I think a lot of people are just going to use it on their desk because it is a PC, right? Like you have a full desktop, you can plug in a mouse and keyboard, use it on a monitor, use it with a controller, and it's all just going to work fine. Like SteamOS is cool. I think if Xbox could figure out a way to get Xbox Game Pass on Steam, a lot of people would be interested in using SteamOS just because it feels like using a console when you want it to. But if you want to use a PC, it's there. But you don't have to use the desktop side if you don't want to, unlike Windows.
That sounds a lot like what they're working towards, especially if that Windows Central report is anything to go off of. Oh, you can just chill out in the full screen experience if you don't want anything to do with PC, or you can boot out to a Windows style desktop and do some crazy stuff there. So, Jim, PlayStation has a VR headset, Valve has a VR headset. Is there any chance in hell that Xbox throws their hat in the ring and maybe even just like partners up with someone else to have their own VR headset?
Where VR is at now, with it being more spatial, where you see the world around you and then put things floating in it, that's what Xbox was doing when, Oculus was making, like the closed loop headset where you put it on, you're transported to like Tahiti or something. And that's what Valve was doing with the Index. And then now they're all doing what Xbox was doing 15 years ago, or Microsoft really. So I don't know. I don't think Microsoft is really too concerned about it because it's such a niche thing. Like they're more concerned with AI and, getting their games out there. I don't really see a big need for them to jump into it, but it is cool that it runs Steam. You can stream directly from your deck, your machine, or just play games natively on it. They had me a little bit because in the trailer, they're like, this is built to stream games from a PC or the Steam machine. I was like, yeah, it should be like $100 probably. And then they're like, also, it has Proton, so you can play your Windows games on it. And I was like, okay, we're good.
It's such interesting timing because the wording that thinking back to that Sarah Bond AMD announcement, she was like, we're going to come out, like, we're working on hardware. There's going to be hardware, and it's going to be, not just like our flagship console, but like, this chip is going to be powering all sorts of devices, like our own handhelds and like all these other things. And then Valve comes out and is like, here's a trio of new devices. And it makes me honestly more excited to see what Xbox is going to cook up and how they're going to respond.
I hope they make a Halo multiplayer game now that they're done with Infinite. I'm like kind of bummed. I still play that.
Yeah, I hopped on when they made the announcement. I'm like, this is still fun. And it got a lot of hate, bro. It got a lot of hate.
Well, yeah, it wasn't good when it came out. It was like half a game.
But like, yeah, from a content perspective, it was like, oh no, y'all are missing some stuff. But like from a gameplay perspective and a fun perspective, I'm like, I'm still having fun with this. It's still good. I'm rusty as hell. I jumped on and I just did quick play. And then I was put into a Tactical Slayer, what used to be known as SWAT, and I was just getting clapped, bro. Like I would spawn and just get drilled in the dome. I was like, damn, I ended up with like a 4:11 KD ratio. I was like, Jesus Christ, no. I was getting just clapped. But yeah, hopefully.
That's usually my KD in Battlefield, dude. I fucking suck at Battlefield. I put like 500 hours in a Hunt Showdown, which is an extremely difficult game. I boot that up last night just to see if I like got hit in the head with a nail or something and I can't play FPS anymore. Best matches of my life. So something is weird with Battlefield. I suck so bad at it. I'm just terrible.
I'm really hoping that we see an announcement from Xbox, anything in terms of what they have planned for the next gen. There were a lot of rumors saying that we could see new Xbox hardware as early as 2026. 2026 is the target year for the Steam machine and all this new stuff that they got going on. So maybe there is a chance that we'll see this kind of competing mini console PC hybrid thing coming out from Microsoft sooner rather than later. But with, like Jimmy was saying, with the work that they still have to do with the Xbox full screen experience, I wouldn't be surprised until it was pushed back to 2027. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff we got to talk about today. Big shout out to Jimmy Champagne. He had a crazy day covering all this stuff on his channel and then appearing on other people's channels, not just mine, but like other podcasts and stuff. So if you want to keep up to date on everything going on in the world of Xbox, but you're also curious as to what's going on in the world of Steam and Valve, check out Jimmy's channel, Deck Ready.
We might have to change the name. I don't know. Nah, Deck Ready covers it.
Thanks again for watching, y'all. We'll see you in the next one. Big shout out once again to Fume for sponsoring this video. If you want to try out any of their products, the Solano, the Fume Zero, the Journey Pack, go on over to their website, but make sure that you use my code XboxReady to get some free stuff thrown your way.